Things just took a major turn for all parties included for Giannis's major offseason that's incoming. I'm here to break down how Bam Adebayo could be the secret weapon for this Miami Heat team in order to go out and acquire the multiple-time All-Star, the multiple-time MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and why this should have Heat fans fired up. I'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, as nearly 80% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys for everything. But now let's get to it and break down, is Bam the secret weapon for Miami? And now, I mean this off the basketball court in this sense. A lot of the time, Bam Adebayo is discussed as a secret weapon for this Miami Heat team when on the basketball court because of the overall abilities that he does maintain. But now it seems like he might be the secret weapon off the court in order for this Miami Heat team to have a great chance to go out and reset their entire franchise this upcoming offseason by acquiring Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the entire conversation has been going on for about 2 weeks now surrounding Giannis and whether or not he is going to be a part of this Milwaukee Bucks organization next season. Due to the failures year after year when it gets to the time in the playoffs, it seems like Giannis may be ready to force his way out of Milwaukee, just losing his 1B type of player in Damian Lillard, at least for even if they were to get all the way to the NBA championship this year, he would have been out with the knee injury that he just suffered in the first round against the Indiana Pacers. And it seems like he would have missed some time, or he's going to miss some time in the start of next regular season. Now, with the Milwaukee Bucks currently without a Robin to their Batman in the sense of Giannis, is Giannis going to force his way out? Now, it seems like Bam Adebayo and having the same agent as Giannis Antetokounmpo could be a massive factor in this conversation. Whether Giannis wants to go to a big glamour market in Miami, in Houston, in New York, one of the two markets, or out west in LA, to either of the two markets in the Clippers or the Lakers, it seems like Bam Adebayo is going to have a substantial chance to be a major factor in bringing Giannis to Miami. Now, Miami is obviously a glamour market. I don't know if you can say it's the biggest market in all of basketball, with other teams like the Boston Celtics, the LA Lakers, the LA Clippers, the New York Knicks, as well as a bunch of other very high-end, high-class markets. But when it comes to glitz and glamour, I'm not sure if anyone takes the cake like Miami, being in South Beach for at least 41 of your games during the regular season, as well as being at home for the playoffs. The Miami area, the Miami scenery is like none other in the entirety of the world. And it seems like that Bam Adebayo could be a substantial factor to go out and get Giannis, because not only has he been in Miami since being drafted from the University of Kentucky, but he also shares agents with Giannis Antetokounmpo, which again could be a massive point. Now, Evan Siddery went on to tweet this is where we're getting the information, and in the tweet he goes on to say, one interesting role as it relates to any upcoming potential trade pursuits for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis's agent, Alex Sacertes, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Also, the font is very tiny on my end. Also represents Bam Adebayo. If Giannis Antetokounmpo decides to request a trade from the Bucks, this is something to bookmark for future reference. Now, shout out to Evan Siddery for tweeting this and providing the information so easily, but the idea is the same. If Bam Adebayo, one of, if not the best player for the Miami Heat, can go out there and recruit Giannis in some form or fashion, whether it's through the agent or not, I think this could be a substantial piece. Now, whether or not Bam will be one of the pieces going back to Milwaukee is going to be very interesting, because that has been a topic of conversation after how Bam played this season. After getting paid all of that money, is he going to continue to regress? Is he going to continue to maintain the abilities that we saw from this past season that simply were not up to par? They simply did not get the job done. Now, he could be a piece of trade that goes along in this trade, because we know the Miami Heat, with the roster currently constructed, are going to have to move a lot of assets, whether it be draft plus player, a lot of player assets with a few draft assets at the end. It's going to be very interesting to see how this trade actually looks out in the entirety of things. But I will say, for the Milwaukee Bucks, they may be damn near desperate when it comes down to moving Giannis, because Giannis is going to go out and get them the vast majority of all trade value that they can get. If you look at their roster, there's not a lot coming back. people like Brook Lopez will be a free agent at the end of this year, as well as players like Jericho Sims, Prince, Gary Trent Jr., they're coming back. Ryan Hollins will be gone after this year. And then following that, you have players like Damian Lillard, who will be taken care of until the 2026-2020 season. But how healthy is he going to be? How healthy is he? How much is he going to play next season, coming off of the major knee injury he just suffered in the first round of the playoffs? Players like Kyle Kuzma, who did little to nothing specifically in the playoffs, but post-trade deadline, how substantial, how much of a useful piece was Kuzma to this Milwaukee Bucks team? I'm not sure if that's someone they are looking to build around, maybe someone to use as a possible trade candidate this season, if not next. And then there's Giannis, the player taken care of the absolute most, the player taken care of for the longest in the sense of years to come for this Milwaukee Bucks team. But is he actually going to be there? Are they going to look to trade the Milwaukee Bucks cornerstone in Giannis Antetokounmpo? If they do, and if Miami is the option, and Bam Adebayo is not in that trade, which is hard for me to believe up to this point, players like Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Kyle Anderson, Kel'el Ware even possibly, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Nikola Jovic are all going to be up for trade, in my opinion. If Giannis is available, those guys currently listed, I believe, are going to possibly be involved in that trade, as well as draft compensation. Because of where this team currently is in the Milwaukee Bucks, with as many players they have departing after the season, as well as not having Damian Lillard for at least a piece of the start of next season, it seems like they may go for broke and hope to reset their franchise, something like the Phoenix Suns wanted to do at this past trade deadline when hoping to shop Kevin Durant. They wanted a lot of draft compensation. They wanted a lot of young players, whether it be from the Miami Heat or anyone in the NBA, in hopes to reset their franchise after they went out and moved basically an entirety of a franchise in order to go out and get Kevin Durant from the Brooklyn Nets, where they gave up multiple draft picks, multiple players in order to go out and get the multiple-time scoring champ in Kevin Durant. I think this is going to be very interesting. I think that Bam Adebayo is going to be a substantial piece in going out and getting Giannis Antetokounmpo, whether it's because they share the agent, or whether or not because Bam is a friendly and hospitable person who's going to be willing to go out there and have a conversation with Giannis Antetokounmpo in hopes to lure him to Miami. Let him know how great it is to be in South Beach, how great it is to play for Eric Spoelstra, how great it is to have someone like Pat Riley, as accomplished as a man of Pat Riley that he is, above you guys in the organization, looking over you guys, putting the team together, and allowing you guys to go out there and play high-level basketball. Now, we mentioned in the last video breaking down the Giannis situation, but the Milwaukee Bucks in the entirety of their organization was going to meet with Giannis and discuss the future of not only him, but the future of this team. And this came out before the Damian Lillard injury happened. This took place before the first-round exit that they witnessed this season against the Indiana Pacers. So now you can think that there seems like there is going to be a chance that the Milwaukee Bucks are looking to trade and shop Giannis in hopes to flip their franchise, as well as allowing another franchise to gain a multiple-time All-Star, a multiple-time MVP, and a one-time champion to possibly also boost that roster. If you look, obviously a lot of exits in that playoffs, obviously winning it in 2020, 2021 for the Milwaukee Bucks. It doesn't seem like there's been enough success there for Giannis to really want to stay put in Milwaukee, especially with the team currently constructed. I think the Miami Heat, with Bam Adebayo in the position he currently is, have a great chance to go out there and lure Giannis down to South Beach and be a Miami Heat star for the next years to come. Let me know down below if you think Bam Adebayo is going to be a substantial piece in this possible trade, blockbuster trade for this Miami Heat team in hopes to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.